Chet here. Our apologies for the audio quality of my mic during this week's episode. It sounds like I was recording underwater somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Thanks for sticking with us for episode 14.
We took a little unintended breather there, but we're back behind the mics, even though it's remote.
Yeah, and before anyone starts pointing the finger, this one's on me. Another round of sickness. At this point, I'm basically questionable every week.
Yeah, I think they call that day-to-day or a game-time injury, game time decision, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, you rode east seeing some family, so time kind of lined up, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes the schedule just works itself out that way, but we did manage to regroup properly last Friday.
Yeah, that we did. We met up in Edmonton to watch some NLL action between the Georgia Storm and Swarm, and those terrible Roughnecks.
Yeah, it was. The game was interesting, but it was mostly about that atmosphere. That is such an amazing, fast game. It's physical, nonstop movement. So,
yeah, it was a good reset before jumping back into this hockey mode.
So now we're back into it. Season's not slowing down. It gets tight here down the stretch, and we're going to see what's going to happen with those top three and those three that'll be battling for playoff spots here.
Yeah, it actually ties in perfectly in today's show with two great interviews that we have lined up.
So first, I caught up with Nick Mantai, head coach of Killam Wheat Kings, and just got a great interview with him talking about the positives he's seeing and why consistency is going to be their main focus moving forward.
Yeah, we sit down with Landen Fallscheer of the Lloydminster Fallscheers, I'd say, via Germany. He's one of the new Cold Lake Ice players that has come over after the break. Actually was playing some hockey over in Germany, so a real good perspective on how he's going to take on the rest of the season here.
Yeah, and then we'll also have our Player of the Week segment featuring a standout from the Vermilion Tigers. And I must give a shout out Coach Danny, who really came through for us with a fantastic nominee.
Then we'll wrap it up with around the league, catch up on all the action from last week. Things continue to heat up. It feels good to be back in the old Dodge with Chet rolling cold down Highway 28.
Absolutely, Dwayne. I'm glad you got your dressy areas on because we're back in business for episode 14 of the Junior B Breakdown. Let's drop the puck. Well, get us kicked off. We're going to listen to an interview I had with Nick Mantai, head coach of the Killam Wheat Kings.
Yeah, this year we've been very grateful to have all the coaches speak candidly about the realities of life in the NEAGBHL. Nick lets us into what they've been focusing on down the stretch and why he believes there's good things ahead as long as the group stays consistent.
Chet here, joined with in the dressing room pregame, Coach Nick Mantai. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Just wanted to check in, see how things are going. I know things are tight amongst yourselves and the Ice and the Canadiens. So tell us what's been happening over the past few weeks.
Yeah, like you said, it's really tight. I think we're just mostly focusing on ourselves and what we can do to kind of keep climbing that ladder. It's kind of our motto this year is just put our heads down and just do what we can do and don't worry about everyone else in the league and kind of focus on us. And at the end of the day, we're going to be in a good spot if we keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I noticed that you guys are doing a great job of playing spoiler, taking points away from some of the higher level teams and battling hard. And now, in terms of some of your players, we had Dylan a couple weeks ago, right before the break, was player of the game. Is there anybody else that's kind of stepping up in terms of like leadership on and off the ice or something like that?
Yeah, no, obviously Crooks there, he's been lights out for us this season. Obviously his line mate to Jordan Gagnon's been a big help to that. We just got our assistant captain back, Chase Rumble, after a broken hand. So obviously he's come back in the lineup. He's a big big voice in the room and energy builder on the ice. So I think overall, our whole team's kind of stepped it up in the last couple months, and that's kind of been where our successes came from.
What are some of the things you guys have been working on in practice leading up to? It's starting to become like a rivalry between there's 3 teams that are going for those last few spots. So what are you guys doing to prepare to play the ice?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you said, it's kind of a dogfight for the 4, 5, 6 fight, and then the 1, 2, 3s fight. I think for us, again, we kind of have the same mentality from the beginning of the year. I think it's just finally clicking and a lot of new faces. So we're kind of getting some chemistry with our guys. Like you said, coming to Cold Lake, it's, they're a heavy team. They play the right way, good, well coached. Big ice. So obviously coming from Cold Lake to Killam is a little different size of ice. So we're going to hopefully use our speed tonight and kind of use that to our advantage.
Good. Okay, we'll wrap up by having a little fun over the break. Just talking about Christmas holidays. Tell us, are you a turkey or a ham guy, or you don't discriminate? Or
yeah, whatever is there. If I had to take one, I'd probably take the ham.
Okay, fair enough. And also then afternoon nap or head out on to the ODR. What are you going to do these days?
I used to head out to the ODR, but kind of getting up there in age, so probably the naps.
Probably the naps. Yeah. That's probably definitely be my thing. And any highlights for you from the break with friends and family?
Nothing special. Watched a lot of World Juniors hockey. Canada didn't quite get it done this year, but overall, still lots of good hockey on, and just kind of enjoyed the little break. We were back pretty early, so made the most of it.
Good. And are you a couch guy or a recliner guy when you're at home? You're watching all those games, so a couch or recliner?
Recliner for sure.
You're a big recliner.
Yeah.
Now,
put my feet
electric, massaging, or
not yet. Maybe if Killam gives me a little bit of a raise, I can get.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we'll make sure we put that. Talk to the board and get that your stipend, all that big cash that you're making here.
That's right.
Anyways, thank you for your time. I know you got to get to the game, so all the best. And we're down the road, so take care.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're joined by Landen Fallscheer of the Cold Lake Ice.
Yeah, he's got an interesting story to share. He's back home after spending some time playing hockey overseas in Germany.
Yeah, he talks about that experience and the difference in the game and what it means to come home and suit up for the local team again.
Here's the interview.
Okay, good evening, Junior B Breakdown fans. Tonight I'm just pregame here with a new face with Cold Lake Ice, Landen Fallscheer. Not new to the ice and the Cold Lake community, but welcome, Landen. How's things going with you?
It's good. It's good. Just getting started, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, so game 2, first home game, though. Well, so to speak. So what brings you back to Cold Lake? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I just moved home, so I was playing hockey in Europe for a bit and playing hockey in Lloyd for a couple of years. So decided it was time to come home and play here.
Good. So your minor hockey. Tell us about your minor hockey, where you started and where you ended up.
Yeah, I grew up playing in Cold Lake my whole life, and my second year midget, I moved to Lloydminster to play AAA, and yeah, from there just stayed there for a couple of years, and that was about it.
So you had a game last night against some familiar faces in Lloyd. Tell us what it's like coming back from playing in Europe to playing in the Junior B.
Well, it's a whole different game. I mean, it's a lot more physical here, a little more skilled there, but no, it was a good game. I had a lot of fun. Saw some guys I played with before, so it was a good time. I enjoyed being back.
So lots of guys let you know where to go and how to get there. And
oh yeah, definitely.
It's good. So tell us now, where are you staying in Cold Lake, and what are you doing while you're playing hockey here?
Yeah, I've been living with my uncle. My parents moved to Lloyd a couple years ago, so we still have a house there. But living with my uncle and just working with Boone Energy. So
why Cold Lake?
Just move home, get to play hockey with all my friends that I grew up with. It's that was kind of a big thing for me moving home. I got pretty homesick and just saw the opportunity to come back and see all my buddies, and I took it.
So getting back into the lineup, how things been like that, and how things have been like in the locker room and practice. I know you've been kind of waiting till the new year to play. So how's that going?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, the room's great. Like, it was easy to switch over. Everyone was so welcoming, and I guess Scott said put me in the lineup, and that was about it.
Good. Well, we'll let you get back here pretty quick. Just wanted to do a rapid fire here. We always do rapid fire. So if you're in charge of the Aux, what's your first song that you're going to play, you think?
Oh, that's a good question. Go with a safe one here and just play Run This Town
Good.
by Kanye. I think
Good.
that's a good one, yeah.
Are they treating you like a rookie here? What's the vibe in the dressing room?
Yeah, I kind of get it a little bit. I've only played 3 games in the last couple of years, so I'm on rookie status right now.
All right. Do you have an assigned veteran yet, or?
Yeah, it's Josh Butt.
Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, he's
Best
the one.
bet in the league.
Yeah, he's the one who told you that you had to do this interview, so we appreciate him too. Pre-game meal.
Penne Alfredo.
Wow.
Every game. Yeah.
Homemade?
Yeah, always.
Well done. So you perfected that recipe while you're overseas, or?
No, that's a recipe I've been doing since Bantam.
Wow.
That's a sacred recipe. So.
Good. How do you tape your twig?
Heel to toe and then just short at the top.
Good. White or black tape?
White.
Always?
Yep, always. Never switched.
Never switched. Okay. I guess then a couple more questions. Then your dream line, if you could play with anybody on D, because you're a D man here, who would you play with? It could be professional. It could be somebody you've already played with. Who would you like to play with?
Oh, I'd have to go like Cale McCarr or Miro Heiskanen probably. That'd be my 2.
Good. Okay, well, we won't take any much more of your time. We wish you all the best. Welcome back to Cold Lake, and hope you have a great game tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
So this week's player of the week goes out to one of the Vermilion Tigers that is holding court, number 77, Cade Michaeljohn. He's a forward for the Vermilion Tigers, height 6 feet tall, weighing in at approximately 170 stones. Shoots right. Actually says hometown unknown in his bio. We'll have to actually ask Coach Danny or talk to Cade himself next time they're in town. But take it away, Chet. And I think you have a little bit of a speech from
Coach Danny sent us a great email. Cade, who wears number 77. This email's from just over a week ago. In 2 games, Cade had 5 goals and assists. He's leading the league in scoring. And he had 2 of those 5 goals were game-winning goals and really were instrumental in contributing to the team's success, obviously, because they're game winners. So Coach Danny wanted to nominate Cade. So we're excited to do that.
No, for sure. And, you look at Cade's stats from last year. Only played 11 games. I believe he actually did get called up and was playing in the another league in Junior A, I believe, for a bit. So he only played 11 games last year. Only got 27 points.
Only 27 points here.
Yeah, in 11 games. But penalty minutes, we're kind of up there high for, only playing 11 games. He had 32, where you look at his stats for this year and leading the league, 50 points, 31 goals, 19 assists in 28 games, and only 8 penalty minutes. So it shows that, when he went and played the higher caliber, that his demeanor and stuff changed a bit. And he came back with a little bit of fire in his blood and wanted to show them what he learned in the big leagues. And now he's come back and playing with the Vermilion Tigers and having a great season.
Yeah, well, maybe 11 games last year, 27 points. Maybe Dwayne was just bored and he just wanted to get some other stats or something. He decided to, throw down a bit or something. I don't know. But anyway, It's just a phenomenal growth by Cade Michaeljohn to be already at 50 points. And we're just looking on the website here with the trends. It just keeps going up and up, and he keeps leading by example for the whole league. In fact, not just on the Tigers.
Yeah, you betcha. So congratulations, Cade. Hopefully we can catch up with you and maybe have a chit chat in one of these weekends in one of the barns, and great performance throughout the season so far. And here's to you and your teammates on the rest of the season. All right, we'll start off January 16th down at the Vermilion Stadium, where the Wayne Bison's coming to town. Bison's Tigers, only a couple points between them going into this game. But you'll kind of look at the scoring line here. Vermilion jumps out to a 3-0 lead after the first, with Jackson Touton grabbing 2 goals, one on the power play and one just as the game started. And then Riley Applegate getting that third goal for the Vermilion Tigers with 3-0 going into the second period, where they kind of continued their ways with Mr. Cash Capjack getting the fourth, and of course one of the players that we talked about as player of the week, Cade Michaeljohn, getting his 29th of the season, making it 5-0 going into the third period, where Vermilion knotted their 6th goal, making it 6-0 with 4 minutes into the period. Then the Wayne Bisons finally got on a power play where Riker Singer made it a 6-1 game. Looking at it, you look at the scoring line, the third period. If we wanted to talk about a rough, nasty kind of third period, it looks like Wainwright was trying to take out some of their frustrations, being down that 6-0 coming into that period. It was just a constant, as we've talked about a long time, is a parade to the box. With plenty of people sitting down for long periods of times. You got slashings, roughings, trippings, roughings, fightings, right? So just looks like Wayner was trying to, take whatever flesh they could out of that the Tigers, and even though a little lopsided win, I think Wainwright got a little bit of their frustrations out, and hopefully next time they meet, the game will be a little differently. Goalies, of course, Ryan Stowe only allowing 1 goal on 23 shots. And then looks like we had some double duty by Ryder Zerbiak and Lachlan Jenner for the Wainwright Bisons, right? So, good game by the Tigers, rough game for the Bisons, but I'm sure next time they meet, it'll be a different game.
January 16th for 8 p.m. at St. Paul, the Clancy Richard Arena. St. Paul ends up with the W, 5-3. St. Paul's off to a good start in the first, scoring 2 in the first, and then getting into the second. Quinn Spock gets his 23rd, followed by Ryan Weaver, and then things get interesting. We got a bit of a surge here from the Veg Rangers, who end up getting 2 before the end of the second, and then they start off the third with another goal. So things, at that point, we're getting interesting. We had a 4-3 game. Kudos to Veg for just doing a great job of being very competitive. And then at the very end, we've got Connor Johnson with his 4th from Jagger, Fontaine, and Trey Kelly, the Cold Lake kid, used to be in our neck of the woods. So good job with those apples. So 5-3 W for the Canadians, which should be good, carry momentum in going towards playoffs here.
No, for sure. Just one bright spot there for the Veg Rangers, or Evan Searchy, getting that natural hat trick there at the end of the second going into the third. So good job on you there, Evan.
All right, let's move on to the next game.
All right, Ice went on a little bit of a road trip this weekend, heading down to the Vegreville Recreation Center, where they jumped up to a 3-0 lead in the first period there with Atlee Chikula, Noah Fedor, and Andrew Gresla. So a bunch of the young guns pocketing goals for Cold Lake. Then it carried on with Josh Butt, Atlee, before Vermilion actually Vegreville got on the thing with Michael Jameson pocketing his 3rd of the season, and then Dawson Cook and Cody Pickowitz adding to the 7-1 second period before Xander Tom A, I'm going to say.
Maybe Toma? I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, made it a 7-2 game going into the third, where the Ice kept rolling, potting 4 more goals to the 11-2 victory. Looking at it, not very many penalties, stuff like that. Looks like the ice kind of tried to keep it classy through the rest of the game. Big nights for Chikula. We got Josh Butt with 4 assists, right? So, you got your contributors. You got Nate Dallin with the win, allowing 2 goals on 20 shots. So good job, Nate, getting in there, getting between the pipes. And then ultimately, causing the 11-2 victory for the Cold Lake Ice. We'll move on to game 2 of Saturday's evening.
Okay, moving on, 7:30 p.m. on the 17th at the Snowbus Energy Hub. St. Paul Canadians take one off of the Lloyd Bandits. St. Paul Canadians must have had some sunglasses or tinted visors, some OV visors or something, because they played spoiler, getting things going in the first period. Kind of back and forth. Tatum Flett, and then from St. Paul, then Bronson Parker, and then Mason Banco, and then Maddox Woodbury, and then Quinn Spock. So first period, by the end, we got a 3-2 lead for St. Paul, which is a dynamite start for those guys.
Yeah,
rolling into the second, Quinn Spock keeps doing Quinn Spock things with his 25th, and that would be the only scoring in the second. And then the third, things kind of open up with just a flurry of goals. Cole Kelly for the Bandits, Liam Boyko, and then Jace Lassard. Then we're starting to go for the Bandits, and just Colton Parker, Maddox Woodbury. So just Tatum Flett and then Jagger Fontaine. And so at the end of it, 8-5. That is a strong win for St. Paul. They must be happy with that, taking one off of the Bandits, who have almost double their points in the standings right now, and kind of gives them some confidence, maybe. Hey, Dwayne?
Yeah, you bet. Taking one off one of the top teams. I'm not going to say playing spoiler at this point, but those 2 points could hurt the Bandits. We'll look at the stats here after, but losing 2 kind of down the stretch here could cause some movement in that top 3 there. So good on St. Paul for holding in there and coming ready to fight in these games. Congratulations, St. Paul.
Yeah, they got just a few guys that had multi-point games. Jagger Fontaine with 4 points, Mason Benko with 3, and Quinn Spock with 3 points. So, and Boston Carter with the W. So 37 shots, 5 saves. Great night for Boston Carter. Let's move on.
All right, for the last game of Saturday evening, Killam Memorial Arena, where they'll be hosting the Vermilion Tigers, roll into town. This one starts off in Wheat Kings fashion. They come out in their own barn, ready to play, and take a lead going into the second period with Jordan Gagnon scoring on the power play, with 30 seconds left in the first period. So that had to be a high for the Kings going into the break there, and then coming out in the second period where Vermilion kind of took over for a little bit with Ian Cook, Rowan Quince, and of course Cade Michael John, scoring 3 goals back to back, taking Vermilion to a 3-1 lead before Killam got back with Dallin Critchen scoring on the power play, making it a 3-2 hockey game going into the third period, where the league leader Cade Michael John took it into his own hands to pot the 4th goal for the Tigers, and then Damon Pavlikuk icing it away, making it a 5-2 win for the Vermilion Tigers. Look at the penalties and stuff like that. Pretty clean game. I think there was only a handful, maybe 7 penalties called in the whole thing. But each team out there kind of play hockey. We're not out there in the jungle trying to mess each other up. But Cade getting 2 points in that night. You got Rowan Quince with 2 points. Ethan Cook with 2 points for the Vermilion Tigers. Ryan Stowe, a strong performance with a 0.917 save percentage. And then, you got a couple guys from the Wheat Kings getting goals with Jordan Gagnon and Dylan Critchen. And then, of course, Ethan Edwards, facing a ton of pucks, only allowing 5 goals on 51 shots. So shout out to Mr. Edwards, right? So
don't forget, look at the period 1 penalties. Stop looking into my soul, Tanner. Tanner Sheets.
Tanner Sheets, he's going to be the contender for mugshot of the year for sure.
Oh my goodness! I think we'll make an award just for that by the end of the season. So, yeah. All right, we're ready to move on to the next one if we can. All right, it's matinee, a Sunday matinee, January 18th, 2:30, Cenovus Energy Hub. Well, whatever Coach Josh said between the previous game with St. Paul, the Bandits responded with a 7-3 W over the Killam Wheat Kings. Back and forth at the early start, but by the end of the first period, Lloyd was taken over. Joel Webb scores for the Bandits, then Brady Parcoma for the Wheat Kings, and it's some usual suspects here: Cade Dennett and Caden Wildman, and then Tanner, our man, getting his 11th for Killam, Corbin Stewart, and then look who's producing again. Tanner again, getting another goal. And then it was all Bandits after that with Jaden Plamondon, Joel Webb, and Jaden Plamondon getting another one. So, yeah, it was pretty quiet on the penalty sheets. And I know that the Bandits will be happier with that performance. And Josh maybe won't have them doing a massive skate before their next game. So, good job to the Bandits. Anything else?
Just looking at it, like Ryder Bauer for the Killam Wheat Kings, they're facing 55 shots. Did allow 7 goals, but 55 shots in the league is pretty good considering you look at the cross or his opponent or our other goalie across the ice there, Shea Stewart. Only facing 19 shot, allowing 3 goals. So both had decent numbers for the amount of shots that they both faced, but shout out to Ryder for holding down the goal and not allowing it to become a runaway. So good job for both teams. And Bandits looking to rebound after the loss to St. Paul. It looks like they did that in Bandit fashion. All right, Chet, another fantastic weekend in the Northeast Alberta Junior B Hockey League. Just want to kind of chit chat about the stats and kind of where we're sitting. So after this weekend's play that we just talked about, the Vermilion Tigers actually bounced into first place with 47 points, taking that lead away from the Bandits, sitting in second place with 46. The Wainwright Bisons got quite a few games in hand. They're sitting at 40 points right now, but only 26 games played compared to Tigers and Bandits with 28 and 29 respectively. Then you got the Ice Canadians and Wheat Kings battling for those last 3 playoff spots. You got the Ice with 28 games played and 27 points in their pocket. You got Canadians with 28 games played and 24 points in their pocket, and the Wheat Kings nipping at their heels with 20 points. So, if say the playoffs started today, I think the Tigers and Bandits will get that bye, and the Bisons will be heading down the road to Killam, and Cold Lake will be heading into St. Paul, Canadian country. So, we've got quite a few games coming up this weekend with, playoff movement possibilities. You got the Canadians versus the Tigers Friday night. If the Tigers take one from the Canadians, they're 2 points out of that spot for that. But if the Canadians get 2 points, they're only 1 point out of the fourth place ice spot there. And then you've got the Wheat Kings and the Ice playing on Saturday night down in Killam. If that goes either way, you can get a slide in points. So, some big games happening this weekend. The Canadians are going to go into Vegreville, and what happens when a team goes into Vegreville overconfident. They end up possibly on the wrong end of where they need to be. So, quite a few games that have playoff implications this weekend, Chet. And I don't know, we've got 2-3 weekends left before the playoffs actually start, and it's going to be some pretty exciting hockey.
Yeah, there's a lot of games, 7 games, I think, at least, and a lot of teams that are playing multiple games. Just looking at that, looking at those standings, that especially in between the Ice and the Canadians, and even a couple W's, like you said, by the Wheat Kings, could definitely have those playoff implications. of who they play in the first round. And then also some of those teams that are in 4, 5, and 6 have proven that they can take a game or two off of some of those top teams. So anything's at play, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to what happens this weekend and the few further weekends coming up. Just want to kind of pump some air into the tires of the Cold Lake Ice. I know we got some pretty important games coming up at the end of the month, the 30th and 31st. A couple kind of theme nights. I know the one night is near and dear to your heart, Chet. If you would like to kind of just spread the word.
Yeah, on Saturday night. And also just to our listeners, if anybody has an event that's going on in their barn, fundraiser, they're having an event, I know they're welcome to hit us up and send us an email, juniorbreakdown@gmail.com, and we'll absolutely promote the event. So Saturday the 31st, I know that a lot of people in my family are in education, and they're teachers, and French teachers for sure. There's a long line of Quebecois French teachers back to my grandpa, who taught in a one-room schoolhouse. And anyways, we're going to have a teacher and educator appreciation night at the barn. So half off for those teachers or educators, anybody who works in a school in that Lakeland area. And they're going to have a little VIP section, and going to have a trike race between a couple of schools, I think, as well. So should be a good time.
Come on down and support your local teachers and teachers' aides,
secretaries,
come out
caretakers.
Come out, have a great night. I know it's going to be a great game. That's between the Bandits, my bad. That's between the Bisons and the Ice on that night. And then on Friday night, when the Bandits are in town, I believe it's Volunteer Appreciation Night. So, we've got, some good prizes to hand out that night. We got silent auction going on. So, get out to those local barns, see what they have going on, and, cheer on the teams. It's going to be some great hockey down the stretch.
Yeah. And I also, just a little fun fact there. I know that when we talked with head coach of the Wainwright Bisons, Coach Connor, he's also a teacher in Wainwright. So it'll be a great night to maybe catch up with him and see how things are going with the Bisons just before playoffs here. So great event.
I just don't know, Chet, if we're going to have to give him a half-price ticket or not. I think he's going to have to buy the whole seat for that game.
Yeah, I think if you're, if there's any teachers out there that are from Wainwright and we make the trek, make sure you let them know, and they'll get you your half off ticket, $5 ticket. So that's awesome.
Perfect. Thanks, Chet. Look forward to seeing how the stretch goes and chit chat in a little bit.
Okay, well, we made it. That's episode 14.
Back on track, back behind the mics, heading straight into the most important part of this season.
Yeah, huge thanks to Coach Nick Mantai and Landen Fallscheer from the Ice for joining us. And congratulations to Cade Michael-John on being the NEA JBHL Player of the Week.
You betcha. Finally. We'd like to send our appreciation out to everyone that's coming back after our unplanned week off. Be sure to get out there to your local barns, try the local cuisines from those concessions, and support that great Junior B hockey. And now, you have the breakdown.
The Northeast Junior B Breakdown is brought to you by the Cold Lake Ice, supporting junior hockey and the players, coaches, and fans who make this league so much fun to follow. Chet and Dwayne are fictional characters created for entertainment purposes only. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or deceased, is purely coincidental.